Hello folks, I'm Alan McClure and I'm going to read you two poems today. The first of them I wrote for my mum. My mum is from California and she moved to Scotland in the early 70s and raised me and my two brothers while being 1,000 miles away from her own family, which is quite the feat. So this is a poem I wrote for her birthday at the end of 2020. My mother, homesick, made a home that dazzled. I had friends who'd pop in for lunch though I wasn't there, hungry for a blast of Californian warmth in the dreich grey sprawl of Aberdeen. She planted that welcome like Armstrong's flag in the Mare Tranquillitatis, a startle of colour, an outpost of atmosphere in an unlaughing land. For us she was a chaos of caring, a heart on every sleeve, distraught, delighted, permission always granted to march boldly out of step. The weight of maybes was hers to bear and seldom shared. Today she feeds each passing creature, her garden a scatter of chaffies, a bobbing of pigeons, a scraich of grateful gulls. Warmth awaits, a full belly and the fact of being loved. Wise old Scotia, ye michty kent my father, but my mother is a merry mystery. This poem uses cookies. I thought today of a time when we had time. A time of reading, of Huxley, Cervantes. A time when a 4-novel Dickens omnibus was an easy summer proposition. I remembered bookmarks in important places. A knowledge on a page, unchanging. Easy hours of blissful drifting and ideas taking root. New voices, eloquent and uninterrupted. Slow establishing opening chapters. Getting to know the smell of the pages. The feel of the shelves. Stories that did not shriek at me. Bold black ink, unflashing. I did not remember granting permission for this to be gone. What happened?
Hi, I'm Ciara McClaverty and I'm going to read 4 poems from Past Love in the Museum of Transport. That is my pamphlet about different kinds of love in everyday life. So the first poem was written when I gave birth for the first time, and it was a poem written for my own mother. It's called Snowdrops. Once you told me when you brought me home from the hospital that snowdrops were out in the garden, and every January when I see their fragile cotton bud heads, I think there is my flower, our flower. Likewise, bonfire night will always be the long night my son was born, and I can't remember what flowers you brought to the ward next morning, only your face full of concern as you came through the gap in the curtain and I cried, a baby in your arms. So I had a son and he grew up and started to go to school, and this next poem is about the time that he took part in the nativity play, and it's just called simply Primary 2 Nativity. When my son was reluctant to go to school, I mentioned the play. He said he was tired of singing and tired of dinging, But when I see the long row of short shepherds holding triangles high, I scan for him, his blonde hair hidden in a tea towel, and in the microseconds it takes to recognise his face, there. My throat catches, and I am falling again, comet-like, whooshing with love, and he might as well be Jesus, born anew to me each day. It's always a treat to see your child in the school play. This next poem is about friendship, love and friendship between women, and it was written when I won a writer's retreat to Moniac Moor in the Highlands, and the week I was there, all the other people there were just women, and we got on brilliantly. So this poem is called Women Tell Each Other They Are Gorgeous. It's like we have been starved of each other, and we have only just met. And we're keen to make up for lost time, leaning our stripy-topped bosoms on the table, slapping our hands on its long wooden expanse, and agreeing with each other in shrieks. Lana laughed enough to pish her breeks. You're gorgeous, though. No, you're flippin' gorgeous. We can't talk enough about family, sex and death, breech labour, Nicola Sturgeon and the NHS. It's not every day you wait a decade or two for a faux medieval candelabra to shine down on your face and make you feel like at last you've found your rhythm, your got it now place. So as you can see, it was great fun on that writer's retreat with the sisterhood. So the last poem I'm going to do was written at school, and it was written from a best friend, Becky, who grew up to be a doctor. And later in the poem, there was a handsome young farmer that we both loved called Donald McKinley. So this poem is called We Were Sailing. For Becky. I can't believe they let us out there, two schoolgirls in a sailboat. We had life jackets, but avoided capsize drill, gasping at how bloody freezing it would be to throw ourselves into the water on purpose. I was the crew. She taught me to cleat the jib and duck the boom, while she pulled tight on the wop of scarlet mainsail. Becky was set to be a doctor and knew how to do things I couldn't begin to. But I like to tell myself I knew. When we crossed the bay, leaning out, ropes taut, spray skitting, when we felt brave enough to holler, my Donny lies over the ocean, my Donny lies over the sea, within earshot of Donald McKinley's farm. We had no chance of wooing the sunken-eyed beauty himself, but no matter how chilled we felt, I swore I knew then we'd remember this when we were old, this launching of our ship, this amazement at ourselves.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Donald Adamson. I come from Dumfries, but through a combination of life circumstances, I now live in Finland. I write in English and Scots, and I translate from Finnish. The first poem I'll read was an award winner in 2020, meaning it won first prize in the Scots category of the Scottish Federation of Writers competition. It's called The Sun Athwart the Lift, or in English, The Sun Across the Sky. It's based on childhood memories of Sunday school trips to the Solway coast. The sun athwart the lift, which means the sun across the sky. The day I hae a notion to retour to the strand we won to ilka year for our Sunday school trip, on Carruthers old glor brun and reed gear crenching diesel smeeking bus. Ways climb frae New Abbey to Colvend, eat us oor first sicht o' the sea that we hailed with cheering and pointing, always at yon same lang stretch o' shore, perfected for moat and castle biggin, and for splashing all afternoon, till with the tides ebbing and the days dwining, came the gathering up o' buckets and spades, and the wabbit trake in unshookutchen and shell-girthed breeks and sarks, to the bus for our journey hame through Dalbeattie o' the caused streets, as Salworth waters started on the rain simmer nicht lang surge to America, for another dawing, another moving of the sun athwart the lift, other bairns playing on the sand. The next poem is in English. It's called With Kindness, and it's about being kind to one's childhood self. It's based on my very first school photo, when I was 6 years old. In fact, it's possible to show you the photo here. With kindness. You wee tie squint 6-year-old, with your smile hanging by a thread, what advice should I give you from years lived well or ill, wise or gleekit? Maybe this, that there's no shame in tears you shed on being deeply affected by a poem, a tale, or a song. And if that labels you a softie, wear the badge flagrantly and long. In your life, you will love and hate, admire and despise the same people at different times, or both at once. Be in no doubt that everyone, your mother and your father, and your teachers and your friends, all of them are weird, which is the human condition, and yours, and mine. But then, are you me in the end? Take this as comfort, that if you follow in my footsteps, the ones who slighted you or put you down, most of them you'll outlive. Consider it a victory, if you will, though better if you cast your mind back and conjure forms and voices forth with kindness. Drag them from the dreich to an azure sky, and once and for all, forgive.